Welcome back to the Fountain House in part 2 of Fix My Truck. We've got her all apart. We got the fuel pressure regulator valve changed. Now we just got to put her together, run it and see what happens. Hopefully this fixes my problem and we can move on with our lives. So let's get started. So where we're at is the fuel pressure regulator valve is in place. We'll find out if it's working. What I'm going to do right now is reinstall the intake pieces, hook up the fuel lines, and start getting this thing back together. So right now, the biggest thing I have to really worry about is getting this here intake pipe in. Looks like I'm going to have to put the fuel line, return line on before I put the intake pipe in. This is the elbow going into the intake manifold, if you're not familiar with the Duramax. So in here, you probably saw that there's a couple of fuel lines that are actually right down in this valley, right next to it. So I've got those, I got one of those disconnected right now, and it just makes life easier so I can get my big cabbage collectors in there. And what we're gonna do is just put the fuel lines back in. These are the return lines off of the fuel rail. Returns back to the pump. Those returns feed fuel back in. So we're gonna get those back in place before we put the intake pipe back in. Grab a hold of it this way. Probably not using the correct type of pliers to put this in place, but hey, if it works, is it stupid? It's in place. Now what I'm doing right here, I'm going to put an extra light in there. This might get a little flickery on camera, but I'm going to show you something that I like to do. This hose is on over top of the steel fuel line right here has got a bubble on the end of it, and that bubble is there so when you put your clamp on, the clamp has something to hold against. Even though the clamp is holding the hose on there, that bubble gives it a lock. So what I'm doing is I'm actually feeling where that bubble is and where the hose, or the steel line ends in the hose. So with that, let's turn this guy around. When the pressure gets in here, there really shouldn't be a lot of pressure because it is a return line. It's going to lock itself against that bubble, and that's how it seals. It'll hold itself from going off. If that bubble is not there and you just have a straight piece of steel line, it still can push right off. And if that happens, well then, now you got a fuel line you got to deal with. So we're in good shape there. I want to move that clamp just a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. And there we are. I'm putting this in, there's a couple of O-rings on here, which makes life a little bit easier because these O-rings are very new. I just replaced these. The big thing is the type of rubber they're made out of. When you're putting these back together, you want to put some kind of lubricant on here, so that way they slide in nicely, they don't pinch, they don't get cut, they just go in nice and they seal up. Now I'm going to give you guys a hint that one thing you don't want to do as a lubricant is use penetrating fluid, because what it's going to do is cause these O-rings to expand. And what happens is when they expand is they become useless. You push them in there, they don't create a seal. Silicone lubricant tends to work really well and doesn't hurt them. Just give it a little bit of spray, a little bit of wipe down, and these guys will go right in nice and clean. Okay, she's just about in. One is already in. What I'm going to do is probably put a straight blade on there, give it a little bit of tappy tap, and she'll go right in. What you don't want to do is hammer this thing in, because if you do, you're going to break it. Nice little taps, and it should go right in. We're going to go on the other side a little bit. There we go. All right, now let's take a look. We're all the way in. All right, so the next thing, we're going to start hooking up some stuff. This guy gets to go down and in here. Okay, he snaps right in. All right, next piece we're going to put in as top of that intake. These are all, these 12 millimeters? Yeah, these are all 12s. That's in. I want to grab a zip tie thermostat housing back together. Oh, hi.
Wow.
These are monster zip ties. Now, everybody in the automotive world is going to say, where'd you get a monster zip tie like that? Truthfully,
Home Depot.
construction, Home Depot. Big blue or big orange carry these here. Construction companies use these big monsters for different things. I'm just having a hard time getting that in there.
What is it?
Bolt's got to go right down in here. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I can see it.
You're not going to be able to see it.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, that's why I got this camera, so I can shove it in small spots.
There's two bolts that hold this down, and I already had one in, the easier one, and well, that kind of prevented me from being able to move this around a little bit to get this other one in. So we got to put the harder one in first. There we go. All right, now I got that one in. Let me get the other one in. There's a difference in size. That guy gets to go there. That guy gets to go here. There we go. There's that one. Let's see, where's that 12 millimeter? Put that hose back on. And I'm gonna put those pieces on for the engine harness because they're kind of important. Clamp that hose down. Alright, so they're in. What I'm doing right now is this has got a serpentine belt system on a vehicle, which, sorry guys, but serpentine belt systems work really well. It's the reason everybody's using them. Better than V-belt. You got to use a ratchet to pull your adjuster back and get the belt to reseat itself. Now, I know this is going to be a challenge. I've dealt with a lot worse. There we go. All right, now, what I'm looking for down here is, did I seat it everywhere? Looks like it did. One of the things you're going to notice right off the bat is my air intake isn't stock, is because one of the known problems with an LLY Duramax is the mouthpiece for the turbo. And, oh, I'd say about 10, 15 years ago, I didn't necessarily have the money to go out and buy a nice expensive mouthpiece to correct the problem. The problem is that the mouthpiece, which is the piece right down here, that's this guy right here, it goes down into the, right on the intake of the turbo, and the original ones were just simply too small.
Yeah.
So what was happening is the turbo was running out of air. So because it's running out of air, it would actually cause more heat in the engine. The biggest problem with an LLY is heat. This is nothing more than a General Motors LBZ version. You also notice too, I put a plug on here, so I took the muffler off. This is where it goes. Its sole purpose is to help quiet it down. And honestly, I didn't really see any difference with it on or off. The noise level was exactly the same. So I just took it off and deleted it, one less thing under the hood. It's for sound only. All the modifications that are done to this are OEM CARB compliant with, what do you call it, California regulations. Not that I live in California. Everything on here is totally street legal. All right, get the other battery hooked up. Okay.
Oh, nice lights. I like those.
Anything fantastic.
That
Everything is operating, but I'm not seeing a problem. So we're gonna get some coolant in this.
I'll do a battery change after this.
Oh, we're just about wrapped up in here. Just one bit. Bug. Tomorrow morning we'll take her for a ride, test drive her, and see where we're at.
Okay,
Sound good?
sounds great.
Okay, so that's it for tonight. See you in the morning.